So we're being asked to express the area of a square as a function of its diagonal. So first things first, we want to have an area equation. Okay, that's what our job is to write an area equation for a square. So that's where we start, area for a square. Here's our nice square. All the sides are x in a square. And the area formula for a square is x times x, which is x squared. So normally, area is a function of its side length. Right? X in this case stands for the side length of this square. So normally, area is a function of side length. If you know the side length, you can find the area pretty easily. But we don't want it as a function of side length, we want it as a function of its diagonal. Just to be fun and crazy and wacky once in a while. So rather than x, we want to figure out how long this is. The diagonal. I'm going to call the diagonal, oh, I don't know, d. So we don't want to have x in our equation, we want to have d, the diagonal. So we need to figure out a relationship between the variable x and the variable d. Because if you want to replace the x over here, we need to figure out something to replace it with. So how does the diagonal relate to the side length? Well, according to our buddy Pythagoras, x squared plus x squared equals d squared, the diagonal squared, which is now the hypotenuse of that right triangle. So we can add our two x squareds together, equals d squared. And now finally, if I want to, I need to divide both sides by 2, because I'm solving this equation for x. If I want to replace x up here, I need to solve for x down there. Oops. So that means x squared equals d squared divided by 2. And our last step is to square root both sides. So our really ugly answer is the square root of d squared divided by 2. Okay, and we're just going to leave it like that, because that is a perfectly wonderful, ugly mathematical equation. So now that we know what the side length is, we're going to come back up here into our area formula. Square root of d squared divided by 2 area equals that thing squared. So I replaced x with what it equals, okay, in terms of the diagonal. And now I'm going to finish out my equation. Bless you. So I'm going to square the radical, and when I square a radical, what happens?
Nothing much.
It goes away. So I get that the area of my square can be found by squaring the diagonal and dividing by 2.
Oh, that's what I wrote the first time.